Hey guys, Andy here from Guitar Works 1000. Sorry you haven't seen me about much lately. Had lots of family stuff going on, and as always with this channel, I do it when I have the time to do it. So sometimes I'm pumping out a video every day, and sometimes it might be, you know, once a month or something. So apologies if you've been missing anything. Today we're going to be talking to Stuart Bull again. Stuart's founder of Total Accuracy and Lick Library, and he started Stuart Bull's Tasty Monthly Jam, or Stuart Bull's Monthly Tasty Jam, I can't remember. So look it up on Facebook, join it, subscribe, get involved in it. It's really super mega friendly, all levels, all things, and Stuart spent 45 minutes with me talking about that, and as with Stuart we talk about lots of other stuff as well. So without further ado, let's have a chat with Stuart Bull. Stuart Bull, all the way from Tenerife. He's back again, and he's going to be talking about his Stuart Bull Tasty Lick series. Welcome, Stuart.
Hi Andy, how are you doing?
Very good, my friend. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. You know, I've got a yachtsman cap that will go with that t-shirt.
This was my summer t-shirt, and it was the only thing that was clean, so that's hence.
I love it. It reminds me of, you know, Eddie Van Halen with Sammy Hagar in the 90s. They did a show in Japan, and he had a similar thing, but it was red and white.
Yeah.
And I always thinking that was a cool t-shirt.
First of all, can I apologise, Stuart, because my tooth came out today, so I'm going to get it fixed tomorrow. So anybody looking, I'm really sorry. That's how I'm looking today. I'll try not to smile.
Well, I've got to get my teeth done actually, because to be honest with you, I was a sugar nut for years.
Ah.
And I'm like the heroin addicts who's still a heroin addict but doesn't take it anymore. You know what I'm saying? There's like alcoholics they're still alcoholics but they don't drink. But they're only really like one argument away from fucking just, you know,
going for it.
Do you know what I'm saying? You're still an alcoholic. It's just like you're still a guitar. Like if you're on if me and you was on a desert island and we didn't have a guitar, we'd still be guitarists.
Yeah. I totally get it.
We just wouldn't have guitars.
I totally get it.
It's
So Stuart, today we're going to be talking about the new project that you're doing on Facebook and YouTube, which has been tremendous success so far. I've been following it. I've been a bit out of it for 3 weeks because I had a lot of family over, so I do apologise not being actively involved in it so much. But I've seen it growing sort of exponentially. So for those who are watching, give them a flavour for what it's all about and what you're doing here.
Well, funny enough, a few years ago, now I have to have a little Lick Library dig every time I go on anything. But it's getting to be a bit more just of like a sort of a comedy bit now, rather than me crying in the corner. A few years ago, I suggested that we do a monthly jam thing, because we already had the Guitar Idol thing.
Yeah.
But the problem with that was, it was a good idea, but the problem was, you know, for the live final, it was expensive for people to get there, you know, and also there was a lot of people that couldn't, you know, maybe couldn't get there and stuff like that. And I didn't really feel that we were embracing the internet with that particularly. Yeah. And so I actually suggested doing this kind of, and I am the guy, and where I will give some kudos to Lick Libraries, I'll be the guy that comes in and goes, right, we need to get like 16 of this, 5 of that, and I'll come in with the best ideas of all time, but I have no idea how to make them happen. Right. And then I go, right, now I've, you know, kind of now my magic piss is all over the floor. It's your job to figure out how you're going to make it, how you're going to turn it into ice or reality or whatever.
Right.
So I am guilty of that, and I expect them to do it immediately.
Right.
Especially one person.
Yeah.
You have to do it right now.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'll stop talking to you. But I come up with this idea. Look, we could do a monthly jam, you know, because we've got tons of backing tracks.
Yep.
And we could do it, you know, on the internet somehow, and you know, it would be a great thing. Well, they weren't one particular, they weren't interested. Let's just say that. But there was a person that was working for us at the time, who, not through anything of mine, ended up not working for us. And I've got no evidence to support what I'm about to say, unfortunately. But literally a few weeks later, Jam Track Central magically turned up with their monthly jam.
Ah.
And in my book, which I'm sort of currently writing, you know, I'm not going to name anybody in particularly, but or maybe I will, I don't know. But that is basically the story. So I've got no evidence to support that that is what happened.
Right.
Although the only other thing that does back it up was when we did the Guitar Idol thing. I think that not the last one we did, but the one before. My business partner had asked me if we should invite Jan Circa, and I said absolutely not. And he said, why? I said, well, I don't really like him. That's why. There's a lot of people I don't like. I'm quite upfront about that.
Right.
So I don't like the guy. So I said, but the other is, I said to you now, if you invite him, he'll steal every single artist in the room. That's exactly what they do. So not being the sort of reverse psychologist phenomenon that I am today, I thought that slice of common sense might go straight in the middle of the sandwich, you know, of opportunity, and would be bitten. But no.
Right.
So of course he got invited along with another guy called Johnny someone or other who I don't know.
Right.
And anyway, they went and stole every single artist that we had, and we actually never ended up having any of them for the library, which they're entitled to do. There's nothing against the law about approaching somebody at a show. I mean, you could argue there's an ethical thing, but anyway. So I've got evidence for that because I saw it happen. But as far as the jam thing is concerned, that is what I think happened, although I don't know for sure.
Right.
So it was one of those things that kind of stuck in my teeth, to go back to what you were saying, and kind of annoyed me for quite some time. And then as I started to sort of distance myself from Lick Library and didn't really feel like I had to kind of ask a certain person if I wanted to go to the bathroom at one point, I'd be like, hey, can I go to the bathroom? Which is, no, you'll have to read the book when it comes out to get all of that stuff. But anyway, I started thinking, you know what, I'm just going to do some stuff by myself. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to go back to when I started Total Accuracy and when I started Lick Library. And by the way, there's a few things that have been around the internet where people have been asking me about whether I'm the founder of the Total Accuracy and whether I'm the founder of Lick Library. Well, to tell you the story, there is another owner there. Okay. Truth is, I offered him 40%. He set the company up as 50. That's what happened. The true story is I was doing a gig at a pub called The Drill in Hornchurch in Essex. And I was using the backing tracks that I had made that were the Total Accuracy backing tracks. And I was actually selling them as a package for a student. So say, for example, yourself or someone else come to a lesson with me, you'd pay 20 quid for the lesson and I'd give you some backing tracks. Right. If you were nice to me, I'd give you more. If you weren't nice to me, I'd give you less. But most people were cool from what I remember, and I'd give them more. And that particular person came up to me and asked me, said, hey, I love those backing tracks. Where'd you get them? I said, oh, I made them myself. And I ended up giving him a lesson and giving him the backing track. So that, if there's any confusion about who founded that, that was me. I already had those things. Admittedly, that particular person did, sort of help develop the company. Say like with the Simpsons, there's there's Matt Groening, who's the founder, and then there's the other guys who are the developers.
Yeah.
Anyway, make a long story longer. Once I decided I could do, I was going to do some stuff by myself, I thought, this jam thing would be really great. And I was, during the lockdown, I was giving some free Skype lessons. And there was a guy in Canada called JB Albury, and I gave him a lesson, and he was asking me, we just got sort of chatting over a couple, 2 or 3 conversations, and I told him that I'd wanted to do this jam thing for some time. And they said, okay, well, we'll do this thing where it's like they sent me this thing, which I didn't really understand. But the bottom line is it was going to be like a hashtag thing. Right. So if you did hashtag Tasty Monthly Jam, you would find all the videos that people have submitted. I didn't particularly understand that idea. In fact, I think I was the only person on earth who ever did hashtag. Because I honestly didn't know what it was. Right. So just for a joke, I just put the hashtag symbol and then wrote hashtag. I was like, well, fine. So that's how much I knew about that, which was nothing. So then I went back to them. They kind of was a little bit upset at me, like, well, how much simpler do you want us to make it? I was, well, so an idiot like me can understand it. You know what I mean? Right. That's and so then they actually suggested, I'm pretty sure they suggested, well, what about a Facebook group? I said, that sounds a lot better because I think I can invite my friends to it and it means, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can put, and then that way, the idea was I could put some little mini lick lessons in there to help people, you know, play along to the track and what have you.
Yeah.
And so that's what we ended up doing. And, you know, when I started inviting, because it was all done manually by me, I started inviting all my friends manually. And I actually went to Facebook jail for a few days. They didn't send me a letter, but I got the spinning wheel of death. I think because, you know, I'm a pretty popular character within the guitar community. You know, I'm not just saying that to be big-headed.
No,
I am.
Yeah.
Although someone did call me a retarded narcissist the other day, which is over a joke I wrote about him, which I'll tell you in a minute.
Okay.
No, Andy, do you know who Anthony Jeselnik is?
No.
The comedian. Well, he's absolutely brilliant.
Okay.
And I go with this. There was an incident that happened in New Zealand over a guy getting killed by a shark, and Anthony Jeselnik made a joke about it.
Right.
He was getting death threats and everything.
Right.
And in his set, he said, "You know what? If you want to have a go at me, fine." He said, "But when it comes to my family, and my family are getting death threats over a joke," he goes, "You know what? Best day ever."
Wow.
It proves if I write a joke about you, which I wouldn't do, but if I write a joke about somebody and they're like me, I'm like, "Oh, dude." But if someone's like, "I'm gonna kill you, man," blah blah, you go, "Best joke ever."
Yeah. I get you. Yeah.
That's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I went to Facebook jail for a few days because I was clicking on things. I think going back to my point, I think the conversion rate of people I invited and the people that joined was very high. It's probably about 70%.
Right.
I say that with no mathematical knowledge. I just made that up, but it seemed high. You know, it seemed high.
Yeah.
And I wonder if they thought somehow I'd, you know, found a way to, you know, to
hit it somehow. Yeah, in a funny way.
Yeah. How do they think a guitar player from Essex could like outwit Mark Zuckerberg with 800 billion? I have no idea. But thanks, I guess. That's
exactly. Blimey. Yeah.
That's true faith.
Yeah.
You've got that kind of, you know, faith in me that I'm still trying to figure out Eric Clapton lyrics, you know, but yeah. Now you think I can somehow beat the system that I don't think so.
Yeah, the algorithm or whatever it is, yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So, anyways, so that, and to be honest with you, the community it is a competition. It might end up bi-monthly because it's quite a lot of work in.
Yeah, of course it is.
You know, and stuff. But it's been brilliant. And, you know, it's gone for me past a competition sort of thing. I mean, it's nice to have a competition and nice to give a prize and stuff. I've got some Boss pedals, brand new Boss pedals that we're giving away. But everybody's really supportive of each other. And that's what I like about it. And I think sometimes within music and within guitar playing, there's so much kind of like everyone's a dick in the world at the moment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you get to go, like I'm actually currently writing a joke where I go, "Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm a racist." And then everybody boos. And I go, "I didn't know." I didn't know. I was told. I'm just repeating to you what they told me.
Right.
I thought I was perfectly fine.
Right.
But it turned out. And so my point is like there's so much finger pointing and, you know, everybody's literally sort of sitting there waiting for somebody to do something wrong so they can define themselves by criticising that other person. Yeah. And I was like, which is weird because I just criticised a bunch of people 5 minutes ago. But the fact that I've sort of created something where there's a bit more, without going to sort of John Lennon, where there's a bit more love in the world and a bit more, you know, come on, man, it's like these are dark times. Let's support each other.
Have you even seen a negative comment on there? Because I haven't. Everything is really super lovely.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, you know, there's one thing I've learned in my guitar playing career is there's always something in somebody's playing that you can learn. You might be you know, you might have more theory than there's always something. It could be just the way they pick a note. It could be if you're really into the subtleties of music and guitar, like I am. You know, that's what you look for.
Yeah. And
you'd be amazed that you can find. It doesn't matter. You know, you can find something and go, "Wow, that's really cool."
Yeah.
There's one guy on there called Davey Begg, who's not the fastest sort of thing, but he's got a really good sound.
Yeah.
right? And I've put that. He's got a really good tone. Now that's something you can build on.
Yeah.
If you've got an absolutely terrible sound, that's hard to get away from that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you're playing one note and you've got a good sound, you go, well, that's something we can build on. That's one potato. All we've got to do is add some more potatoes.
Yeah.
But that one potato is still going to taste good.
Yeah.
It might leave you wanting more, but one shitty potato that tastes horrible, you're going to be like, no more potatoes for us. So do you want to know the joke that got me in trouble?
Yeah, go on. Let's hear it.
So this joke is an interchangeable joke. You can use anybody in it. But
Okay.
it was a girl I know in Las Vegas, and she told me never to put her name in the jokes again. So that's why I'm going to do it twice in this particular one. But this joke is interchangeable, right? It's not really having what you do is you use whoever you want to use, right? With the joke. So I basically sent it on WhatsApp, and I said, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to say a prayer for a friend of mine called Tawny Shoemaker. She just got tested, and it turns out her IQ is really fucking low.
Oh.
She's so stupid, I had to explain to her that IQ doesn't mean standing in the line for the soup kitchen,
Right.
which is what she does most nights. It goes on like that.
Right. Okay.
I have to say, if anybody's watching it, now she's not a stupid person, right, at all. But it's a joke.
Yeah, exactly.
And the funny thing about it was, I encouraged her to write some jokes about me,
Right.
and get some attention for herself.
Yeah.
Build, she wants to do comedy.
Right.
I'm like, if you can't write a joke about a bald 58-year-old man, you should give up.
Right.
You're in your 30s and you're attractive. That's like, no one's actually going to live. No one's going to care. Everyone's going to defend you because you've got nice boobs. So I wouldn't worry about it. Me, all you got to do is make a rebuttal, and half the fucking internet men of the world will be.
We'll kick off. Yeah,
and you can get business out of that.
Yeah.
Which is just actually, I wanted to bring you to my next point. You were heading for 1,000 subscribers, so am I.
I've got 1,500 actually. Just
right. So are you? Are you doing super chat?
No.
Well, you fucking should be.
Oh right. Okay.
Do you even know what it is?
I don't actually know what it is.
Right. Okay. So if you go to
your for a while. Yeah.
Well, you're going to be right on the ball, and you're going to be thanking me for telling you this. Okay.
Thank
because
you. I'm thanking you already. I'm thanking you in advance.
Right. Because I haven't got that many subscribers. It's really kicked me up the butt. So what's happened is, YouTube have actually introduced a thing called Super Chat.
Right.
And what you do is you go to your creative studio, you enable it.
Right.
Now you've got to have 1,000 subscribers, which you've got.
Yeah.
So you're good. And then once you've enabled it, people in real time can give you money, can donate money to you.
Oh.
Now, where this is super, super cool, in my personal opinion, now YouTube do take 30%.
Right.
But let's be honest, you're using their multi-billion-dollar facility.
Platform,
So
that's fair enough.
20 would have been nicer, but whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I find the whole YouTube thing a bit funny. It's like a completely free service, and then people like complain about it. You go, well, do you know what I mean? It's like going to Tesco's, getting a free pack of bacon and going, oh, I don't like this one slice. It don't taste good.
Yeah, exactly.
So someone else will pay for it then.
Exactly.
You know. Anyways, and so what can happen is, and where this is so cool and so smart of them, is like a lot of people that do live streams, they will do like PayPal things, right? But the thing about Super Chat is it comes up live on your screen when you're doing your live stream. So in other words, let's say for example, I give you I'm watching your live stream, say for example, I give you $5. It comes up, depending on what name I use, that's my choice.
Yeah.
If it comes up Stuart Ball, $5, hey Andy, doing great, and then you in real time give me a shout out if you got any sense, right?
Yeah.
Hey Stuart, thanks for the $5, man, brilliant. Loads of tarot readers use it.
Right.
You know, loads of the people. There's a whole big movement. Well, it's not a music thing, but there's a whole. I don't know if you've noticed. There's a whole big movement, especially in America, about the dating thing.
Right.
Where men are like not going to date women anymore, and everyone hates each other now.
Right.
So it turns out.
Right.
I mean, I knew women were bitches when I was a kid. I don't know why this has suddenly become a thing in the last fucking month. Maybe I'm living in a parallel universe. I don't know. But anyway, and a lot of these guys, they do their live streams and they'll take articles from the internet about a woman says, no one wants to date me. And I think, you know, not only should you date me, you should pay all my bills. And then they criticize the woman, basically. And of course, there's a lot of butthurt men out there. And they all super chat them. They're like, hey, $5, $10, $20. So if you've got 1,000 subscribers, I would do, and it's something that I'm really honestly thinking about doing, because I'm not a poor man by any stretch of imagination. I'm not going to lie about that. But the fact of the matter is like, I'll take my super chat money and put it back into my live streams and my service that I'm hopefully providing to other guitar players.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh well, thanks for that. Yeah, I'll definitely check that out. I don't do many live streams. I started doing some on Facebook when it was the lockdown, just to entertain friends and family and stuff, and I haven't really got into it, so it's something I'll look into. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, like anything, I mean, we all need money to live.
Absolutely.
So if you can provide a service that people enjoy,
yeah,
you know, and you can make a few. And I think people, the funny thing about the whole money thing is, you get different, you know, I'm not against money. So I was a girlfriend of mine who wrote, I mean, I was a bit drunk, I've got to be honest, but she wrote, well, when you're on your deathbed, you won't be thinking about money. And I'm thinking I will be, because I'll be in a very comfortable deathbed in a very nice house with a couple of fucking thick nurses by the side of me. So yeah, that's exactly what I'll be thinking, like,
rock on.
Thank God you worked hard, Stuart. You know what I mean? Otherwise, God knows where you'd be right now.
Yeah, exactly. So tell us, for those who are uninitiated, Stuart, what do people need to do to find out more about you and more about this Tasty Jam thing? Because it really is a fantastic thing to get involved in for people, and I want people to get into it as much as possible. So first thing is, where can they find you on Facebook? Just Stuart Ball, or Stuart, because you've got an artist page, you've got a personal page?
Yeah, so if you go Stuart Ball /guitar,
right,
I think it is. But the thing is, if you just search, I mean, maybe you could do it right now. If you search this Tasty Monthly Jam, it normally comes up like straight away.
On Facebook, right?
On Facebook. So if you just literally put in the search bar Tasty Monthly Jam, you'll get a bunch of other stuff about tasty food.
Jam. Yeah, I mean, it comes up. Yeah, it comes up straight away. Yeah, so so the first thing is, it's a bloody good name that you chose, because it's not being done anywhere else. So that's the first thing that comes up. So that's.
And where do you think I stole that from? Being a stealer of things like I am.
I have no idea.
Maybe it's not as obvious as I think it is. From Jack Black, Tasty Jam.
Oh, Tasty.
You know, we were saying we were going to lay down a Tasty Jam.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Perfect. Love a bit of Jack Black.
So it's just come up, Tasty Monthly Jam.
Yeah. Excellent. So they, is that all they need to do, is go onto the Tasty Monthly Jam page?
So what you do now, and to be honest with you, I'm not one. I think if you're a person in life who always thinks things are obvious, you're going down the wrong road. I think that's why I've been a successful teacher, because I never think things are obvious to people, right? Yeah. And so what's happened is, even though I'm going to sort of tell you how you do it, a lot of people have hit me up and said, look, I don't know, and I've sent them the track through Messenger myself personally, right? And so basically, if you go on the page, if you look to the left, where you see the list of things you have, like about and videos and home, it's normally under that little picture thing.
Yeah.
Right, so you should see files there.
Media.
Oh, well, they changed Facebook over the last couple of days, haven't they?
Files. Yeah, there we go. Files. Got it.
Right, so if you click on files.
Yeah. There's the Tasty Monthly Jam August 2020.
There you go. So basically, that is the backing track that everybody has to use. And I've had some people sort of submit their own things, and I've had to ask them to remove the post, because it's got to be a level playing field.
Yeah.
In terms of the track. So basically, what you do is you go there, you get that track, you download it.
Yeah.
You make a video of yourself jamming along to it.
Yeah.
Now, some people have asked me, does it have to, because it's a 5-minute backing track. Now, I thought it was cool to have a 5-minute backing track because it gives you plenty of time to jam, just in, like when you're practicing and just having fun.
Yeah.
But people have said to me, especially some of the people that haven't, maybe got a couple less licks, have sort of said, can we do a shorter thing? I'm like, yeah, submit whatever you want. So if you want to submit a minute, fine. If you want to submit 2 minutes, a lot of people have done the whole thing.
Right.
So what you do is you download the backing track, you make your video, and you spend whatever time you want making it, and then you upload it. And the way I'm thinking about doing the judging now is where things get kind of stupid. Is I'm not a big fan of competitions because, what you think about Tom Quayle in Guitar Rider, he comes second.
Yeah.
But what I do love about like that up, could you?
Yeah.
But what I do love about competitions is a lot of people from that Guitar Idol thing, they ended up doing very well and they ended up getting careers out of it. And that I'm very much supportive of.
Yeah.
And so what I'm thinking about doing, and I would appreciate your input on this, Andy, is there's a thing that you can do on Facebook groups called polling.
Right.
Okay. And what you do is you make a poll and then you can add as many names or things to that as you want.
Yeah.
On a fan page, I think you can only do 2, but on a Facebook group, you can do as many. So what I'm thinking about doing, and I'm, I haven't done it quite yet because I'm sort of waiting for some little sign to kind of help me, is making the Facebook poll and then putting all the names of the people or all of the entrants on the poll, and then letting the group
decide. Yeah, I think that's a wonderful idea. Wonderful idea.
Yeah, because I don't really want to be the guy, and I've said this before, how can you say Eric Clapton's better than Eddie Van Halen or the other way around? It's like, completely, I just don't see how that's the thing. But I think the group, if the group want to decide, I think to me that's better. I don't want to be some Simon Cowell figure.
Yeah, no, I think what would be a good idea, Stuart, because you've obviously got a lot of entrants, and I think if you did a poll, it would be exhaustive. I think the best thing that you could possibly do is maybe get a list of 5 of the ones that you feel are the best ones and actually add them to the poll. So you pre-select a portion,
right,
and then people choose from that. Otherwise, it could get a little bit too...
Well, and that's the other thing, because there's I've got a list of entrants down there. Right. That's just like the first page.
Oh my God.
You don't need to see it, but so I'm glad that you said that, because I was sort of thinking to myself, and this is the first month.
Yeah. Imagine.
Right?
Imagine.
So I'm thinking, what if next year I've got 500 entrants? I've got to sit there doing all that.
Well, then what you're going to do is you're going to do the first, to be considered, you've got to be the first 30 entrants. So the first 30 people, and then you pre-select from that. So you keep it nice and compact,
Yeah.
I think that you'd have to do something like that. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to go through everybody. You're going to be a victim of your own success, I think, Stuart.
It will be like the old thing, you create a monster and then you can't kill it.
Yeah.
That's the sort of situation I'm in now, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly.
But then, because it's not bad, to have your own monsters is not always the worst thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm going to give that some more thought, but I think that might be a good idea, like the first few entrants and that, or even just putting it down to maybe 5, like you said, or half a dozen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's something along those lines. But it's funny that you should say that, because I did think to myself, this is going to be, you know what I mean? And this is only the first one.
Yeah, it's going to get huge. It's going to get huge. It's already huge. It's going to get bigger and bigger.
And I'm really excited about it. And I wouldn't mind having what I really wanted to do with the Guitar Idol thing, although I was never really involved in it, even though it was actually my idea to buy it off the people that originally had it. Because my business partner, bless him, he likes to get involved with people that are sort of weaker than him, and then he likes to sort of bash them into submission and make them believe that their lives are worthless.
Right.
And that was what was happening with the Guitar Idol guys. When we was, and it was a nice guy. I can't even remember the guy's name now. But he's a nice guy, And anyway, so I was seeing this going on, and I was thinking, oh my God. I said, look, why don't we just buy their 50%? And I actually, I'm not a liar, but I sort of pretended for other reasons, but really I just wanted to get this guy off the hook.
Right.
Because you're just going to get, I know this business partner, I think you've got no chance here, mate. You're just going to get slaughtered.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we'll just buy, I didn't say that. Well, let's just buy your half, and then that problem goes away.
Right. And
then, but I was never really that involved in it. But what I really did want to do was have some sort of live final in Las Vegas.
Ooh.
Right?
Ooh.
That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to do it in Las Vegas, and I wanted to do it for a few reasons, because I was thinking, when you have it in London, not only is London extremely expensive, right? It's like, it's not really that commutable from like, and what my idea was to have it after the NAMM show each year, because I'm thinking, right, what a package, right?
Yeah.
Now, you're married, so you know the thing, like if you go to Vegas, your missus, she can do stuff.
Yeah.
You can do your one night of guitar, and obviously she'll come with you, whatever, but it's not just all about you. There's like other things.
Yeah.
Even if you took the kids, you know what I mean? Like Vegas, people get the wrong idea about it. There's a lot of stuff for families to do now.
Yeah.
Well, until the sneezing stops.
Right.
You know, but in the future.
Yeah.
There is a future. But so that was my idea. So with Tasty, if it builds the way I want to do it, I don't know if I would do it as a competition, but what I might do it is just like a sort of almost like a Star Trek convention.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Something like that. I'm still playing with the idea in my head.
What about subgrouping it into different levels as well? You know, obviously there are some. I mean, I've seen some of the entries, and some of them are just like, jaw dropping, and obviously people are at different levels. So you're not going to get the guy that's just starting out and getting his groove on competing fairly against somebody that's a really seasoned guy.
It's funny you should say that, because people sort of have done that. Okay. You know, people. Do you know what I mean? Though they like, I mean, they might say, "Oh, I'm not as good as these guys." But, you know, there maybe be a little bit of sort of a, you know, narrative before their video, because they obviously realise there are people that are maybe a little bit further down the road than they are, but they don't seem to be. They seem to be just happy to take part.
Yeah.
And so that's where and it's funny you should say it, because I did one idea. I think, well, maybe should I do like 2 tracks per month, one a little bit easier and one a bit harder. Yeah. You know, and I do that with the lick. So when I do a Monday lick, I do an easier lick. Right. And then on the Wednesday, I do a tougher lick. Yeah. Friday, I get drunk and say, fuck it. Yeah. I'm not doing anything. You've had enough out of me this week. No. But you know what it is? I never, even in school, I always remember, I'm very big into psychology, even though I know I muck around a lot, but I really am. And I remember in school, like if you got into a lower group and then there was a higher group, you always felt useless. Mm. I'm not saying I had a better system, but for me, I wonder, and it's maybe something we could poll on the group at some point, but for me, I was wondering, well, like, okay, well, you people go over there and you wonderful people go. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. And also, I don't necessarily believe that music is like that, because otherwise, if it was, Dave Gilmour wouldn't be Dave Gilmour, would he? Yeah. You know?
You could make it very clear that you're rating people not on particular scale patterns or speed.
No, I'm not, and I'm not doing
which
that.
I know you're not. But make it very clear that you're rating people on tone, feel, expression. All these wonderful things that we've got in music.
Well, to be honest, what I do is like I look at music a little bit like cooking, right? Yeah. When you cook things, there are technical things that have to be observed, right? Yeah. But when you eat it, it's just the experience that you have when you eat it. Yeah. And I look at music the same way, right? When you're practicing, yes, you're thinking about this, you're thinking about that. But when you listen to something, you either emotionally connect with it or you don't. Yeah. Now, with if it's a shredders competition, if you said, and some people do this, if you said straight up, whoever's shredding competition of the month,
Yeah.
you know, let's say there's whatever company did it, and I don't want to say it because I know a bunch of people going, but let's say there was a shredder, which I'm sure there must be. Then if you're not shredding, or what we would consider to be shredding, then obviously that's not going to be relevant.
Right.
But I'm not saying that. To me, this is music. I mean, I love Eric Clapton. I never used to love Eric Clapton. I never used to love Jimi Hendrix because I was a stupid kid who just wanted to, like, you know, run up and down the room to AC/DC.
Yeah.
You know, and I didn't realise a lot of the subtleties of it.
I'm the same. I actually really appreciate Eric Clapton now that I've got a bit older. Yeah, really love him now.
It's weird, isn't it, that?
Yeah,
because your ears open up a little bit more.
Yeah.
And you appreciate the subtlety of it. And I think a lot of things is, especially when you're a kid, my good mate, Michelangelo Baker, always says this, he goes, people listen with their eyes.
Yeah.
You know? So if you haven't got someone going,
yeah.
like this, you're like, oh, that's rubbish.
I actually met Eric Clapton once. Got a funny story about him. I was on the same bill as him. You know, I had a show band and we were opening for this sort of festival in the countryside, and I had my Strat, and my wife and I saw him walking along backstage, and I went up to him, and just as I'm about to ask him if he could sign my Strat, I got a tap on the shoulder, and his manager or PA said, look, Mr. Clapton won't sign your guitar for you. So I put it down, and he went off to the bathroom, and I'm sort of sat there like a stale bottle of piss. And he comes back again, and we're literally like face to face. And I looked down at my guitar, and I said, I've been told that you won't sign it. And he just went, and I said, well, can I have a photo, please? He, you know, didn't say one word to me. And when the photo was taken, he wasn't even looking at the camera. He was looking down. So I didn't have a very nice experience with him.
It's a shame that.
Yeah.
I had a similar experience with Brian May, funny enough, where we were at, my mate used to make the guitars for him, Barry.
Right.
And we were at one of Barry's dues that we used to go to. And it was even me and my business partner. And we said, hey, can we get a photo? And he was like, oh, you know. I mean, I sort of, here's the thing, right? On one side, I get the whole thing about always being asked for this and that and the other and blah, blah, blah. On the other side, you got 300 million quid, you stupid motherfucker. Like, what really, what part of being rich and famous was not explained to you?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, even me in my little microcosm, and I tell you, he's brilliant. My good mate, Steve Harris, he's like, fucking bang on. Like, he, you know, when I'm in Vegas, every now and again, he'll come and visit me, and his family will be there and this and that. He walked through a casino. He stops every 6 feet. Photograph, signature, photograph, signature. Not one person is he a dick to. He's absolutely.
Oh, what a great guy! What a great guy! Yeah, well, actually, you know, you must have some great stories about famous guitar players. Maybe we'll do another video on it. Just your, maybe your experiences about, you know, being in the industry and how people treat other people, and I don't know.
You know, it's. I mean, about it. But yeah, I mean, funny enough, just to say one thing. I mean, I was watching a thing, the Joe Rogan Experience. I don't know if you watch it with Billy Corgan.
Yeah, love him.
With Billy Corgan. And just so you know, he's just been offered $100 million. I don't know if they've done the deal, but Spotify are going to give him $100 million for that podcast.
Wow.
So, tell you, man, just keep going. One thing, anyone out there who wants any business advice, being somebody who's like started off completely pure, just doing it for the love. Myself went a bit wonky, saw the possibility of making money, got involved with some, you know, interesting sort of characters, really realised that that's not who I am, and then now come back to sort of what I was when I started.
Yeah.
If you want to do well in you know, if you've got an oil company or whatever, I'm not going to tell you about that. But if you're doing anything like what we're doing, I honestly believe that if you just do it for the love, don't think about the money. Just do it for the love. Just don't like we're doing now. Just have a good time.
Yeah.
Have a good experience. Don't ask me how it works, but something goes up into the universe. Call it God. Call it whatever you like. Something goes somewhere, and then at some point, not at your choosing or my choosing, at the choosing of whatever, that success will come to you.
Yeah.
And even if it doesn't, at least you didn't live your life doing something you didn't want to do.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
And I've got a mate of mine, Oz Fox. He's not a great mate of mine, but he's a mate of mine from the band Striper.
Right.
And he's been sick. He's had a cancer thing, and he's a Christian, but he's not like an annoying Christian.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like you get annoying Christians, like they've got what I call the Christian baseball bat.
Yeah.
And they're quite happy to sort of like smack you over the head with it at every single opportunity. Yeah. He's not like that at all. He's a really, really good guy. He's got his beliefs, and like if you respect him, but he said it's absolutely brilliant thing. And he's doing. If anyone's watching, they're taking donations, and you can go to his Facebook or whatever. But he said he read this thing out, this part out of the Bible that said, but I can't remember the exact words, but it was sort of like, you know, you've got to have faith in God that everything will work out and blah, 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 blah. And he said, you know, I'd love to keep being alive and I'd love to stay alive. He goes, but you know what, even if I don't, it's okay. Wow. And I thought, oh my God, what a wonderful, powerful.
Wow.
And you could see by his face, he meant it. He wasn't looking around, he meant it.
Yeah.
He was like, even if I have to leave this place a little bit before I wanted, it's still okay.
Wow.
And I thought, wow, what a brilliant way
to
live your life. You know, I'm trying to get a bit more back to that.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, it's
but the guitar player thing is, I mean, the only thing I would say in defence of the Eric Claptons of the world and Brian Mays of the world is, you know yourself, Andy, this is crazy business, even at the level we are. You know, everybody's trying to, you know, it's like one of them things that once you get a little bit of success, everybody can smell it. And they don't want a bit. You know, and it's not just that, it's like, you know, the thing when you're doing a recording and the A&R guy comes in and he goes, oh, I don't think the bass drum's right. All he's trying to do is just piss on your face. He's just trying to get his one little, if you imagine there's this pie that is your creative thing that you've done, whether it's Lick Library, whether it's an album, whether it's Aerosmith's latest album, whatever it is, everybody wants to pick a bit of that pie off and say, see this pie? I'll cook that.
Yeah, yeah.
That bit of the pie, that was mine.
That's mine.
That's my idea.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that's what drove me crazy over the years.
Yeah.
You know, we just had a pop solos project that's coming out through Lick Library. That was an idea that I had probably 5 years ago that was turned down. Now somebody else in there has taken that idea, changed some of the tracks, left some of my ideas, but changed a few and then commissioned someone to do it without even asking me. So that's things like that. There's a thing, I'm reading this book on hostage negotiation, believe it or not. And there's a human condition that one of the things that drives people absolutely crazy is not being treated fairly.
Yeah.
Right? When people are not treated fairly, even if it's something in Tesco, even if it's the smallest thing involving 10p, right? We're pre-wired to be really upset about that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think what I'm trying to really say is fuck Eric Clapton. I think that's what I'm trying to say.
So listen, just to wrap up, Stuart.
Sorry, Eric, I'm sure you're not watching. If you are watching, sign his guitar.
Sign my bloody guitar, you bastard.
On eBay.
Yeah, so listen, I just want to wrap up by saying I think it's a brilliant idea that you're doing. It's succeeding and it's growing every month. We'll talk again about other various things, but Stuart's monthly tasty jam.
So it's Stuart Ball's tasty monthly jam.
Sorry.
I only added the Stuart Ball to give my business partner a reason to say I'm an egomaniac.
Right, okay.
It's hard to find those reasons, so I have to give them to him these days. So I thought I'd just stick it in there for fun. I don't really care that much. Having said that though, putting my name on it, I think has made me get.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You've got a profile, so use it, you know. But anyway, that's where they can find it. Enter the competition. It's really super friendly, super nice, and Stuart responds to all the comments that I can see. I've never seen you not responding to anything, Stuart. So power to you, brother. And we'll
sometimes I don't respond to CPR.
Oh right, okay. And we'll talk again sometime in the future. But yeah, I wish you continued success with it, Stuart. And I'll talk to you again very soon. Okay, brother?
Thank you, Andy. And thank you for having me on, sir. I really appreciate it.
Oh, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. You take care of yourself.
See you, mate. See you soon.
Bye, mate. Bye. Bye.